In this section, we're going to go over changing the information on the documents so they do not repeat every time. And this is one of the most common mistakes most people make, okay? So we're looking at two different life skills and learning forms for two different months, okay? We're looking, and what's the difference with these two forms here? Look at this box here. I showed the youth how to properly say good. I showed the youth how to properly say good. I showed the youth that when we talk with. I showed the youth that when we talk with. All these words are exactly the same, okay? The only difference in these two documents is that the month was changed. Now, with life skills, you're teaching them something new every single time. So these should not be exact duplicates. If they're exact duplicates, then I know that the person that was filling this out got lazy and just changed the month. They made a copy and all they did is change the month. Well, the problem with that is, number one, you didn't do the work. And number two, when I show other people, it shows them that you didn't do the work. So people are going to start questioning you as a foster parent when you're not changing these. Okay, they're going to wonder how much work you're actually putting in with the kids. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that these two things that you're filling out are different. If you're working on the same thing, that's okay, but you have to say, this is our second attempt at trying to do this. They still didn't like it, and they still didn't want to do it. Okay, but these forms should not be exact duplicates, or else I'll ask you to do it again. Okay? So remember, this is the only difference was April to May. That's not good. Another problem here is, see at the top, this is the name of the document, okay? So this form here was turned in for April, but it doesn't say April, it just says skill summary. And this form was turned in for May, but now the May one says April. So which one should we accept for May? Remember, they turned this in for April and it doesn't say April here. And then they turned this in for May and this one does say April. So should this one have been turned in for April? And maybe this one should have been turned in for May? I don't know. So the problem is, don't make me guess. Go up to the top and put in April 2018 John skill summary. And for this one, put May 2018 John skill summary. Don't mix these up because it's hard for us to figure out what you're actually trying to do when you don't name it correctly. So now we're going to talk about when there's two different children in the home. This form was turned in for May. This one has John's information written in the skill summary. And this information was turned in for May, and it has Don's information written in the skill summary. Okay, but you don't have their names here. You have John's here, but this one was filled in for John. So was this John's? But inside the form, it says Don's info. But it has John's name. And we don't have one filled in for John because there's no John here. So again, you got to rename these correctly. If you have two kids, different names, same month, same year, okay? And then in the form, if it says John, the form's filled out for John or for Don, okay? Does that make sense? I'm going to give you an example now. So let's go into our email. Let's go to the drive. Let's go to 2018. Let's see, April. Oh, let's get a skill summary. So my drive master, skill summary, make a copy. Put the copy into April. Yes, I know it's going to be shared with others. We're going to rename this. Now this should say John, if that's the name of your child. The month, which is, we can see right here, we're filling out April, and then the year, 2018. Going to get rid of this template only because it's not a template. Okay, I'm going to click OK. And then inside of this document, The title is correct, and then the name should be John, right? And the month is April 2018. So this is the problem, people. Let's pretend we're filling this out. This is for John. What do we work on? I taught John how to read a book. Keep in mind this should be filled out much more, but I'm going to try and go quick. He read 4 pages and then gave up because it was too hard for him. We will try again in the future. Okay, let's see. 2 is a social skill. I showed John how to say hello to a new person from school so that he can make new friends. I showed him the words and how to shake hands. He did not want to participate. Okay. We will try again in the future. Okay, that's all good. Now let's pretend that you have 2 kids. The other one's name is Dawn, okay? And the name of the file is Dawn, but then when we get down here it says John, and it says John here, and it says John here, and I get this all the time. And then maybe I'll get the second one for John, and everything here is the same. The only difference was Dawn here. So I know that you copied John's and just put Dawn's name on it, which means you didn't really try these things with Dawn. So that's bad, okay? The names have to match. So if it's Dawn here, then here it should say Dawn. Okay, here should also say Dawn. But if it's 2 kids, these shouldn't be exactly the same as John's, right? But I want to show you that the names need to match. Excuse me. So make sure that when you make a new document, the names are the same and the month and the year are correctly matching up with the month and the year that you're turning the month in for. If you're doing April, all the documents need to say April. If you're doing May, all the documents need to say May. If you're doing January, they all need to say January. And they all need to say the right year. They all need to say 2018 or later from now on. Okay? Now, if it's one child with the name Dawn, all the information needs to say Dawn. Okay, not John. Or if it was John, then all the information here needs to say John, John, John. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So that is all for making mistakes with retitling the paperwork. Make sure it has the name, the month, and the year, and all the information is correct. See how this is Don and this is John? Okay, these names need to be correct and for the right month and year for the child. Okay? All right, that's all for this section.